Greetings all, Ragnarok here, and it's time to do the first pruning and training of the tomatoes. So I'm just going to take you along as I go in and knock out things and start getting them organized. The important thing to remember though before you start pruning is knowing what type of tomato plants you're dealing with. You don't really want to prune your determinate plants. Now of course I'm going to keep the stem clear so that none of the leaves are touching the ground. But other than that, determinate tomatoes are predetermined in how high and how long they will grow. They're not going to go crazy and take over like the indeterminates. The indeterminates, I'm going to give them a heavy pruning and train them right into the panel here. And I'll tell you which are which as we go along. Alright, so this first one here is a chocolate cherry. It is an indeterminate. And as you can see, we have some flowering going on here, which is definitely not what I want to see right now. So I'm going to make sure to remove all of the flowers. I want these plants growing, not producing tomatoes yet. And what I'm going to do is just take and go right along the stem and snip all the way down. Now as you can see here, we have a sucker going off the side here. So what we can do is take that sucker and save it. We'll talk about that later. So we have another flower cluster here. Be sure when you're pruning up your tomatoes too that you're not leaving this here in the garden bed. Always bring a pot along to keep them off the ground, so I'll dispose of them afterwards. And we're going to take it right to there. And we'll grab a tie. I'm just going to train it up to the side here. Now normally I use jute string, but since I'm out of it, I'll use what I have on hand. And that's a zip tie. I won't pull it tight, just like that. And I will monitor this in case the plant does get very large so that it's not cutting into the stem. But right now, that chocolate cherry is ready for its next evolution. Alright, so here we have our big beefs. And this is also an indeterminate style tomato. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you right here because this is a perfect example. Now I was talking about saving the suckers to grow new plants. And this is a classic picture to help you identify a sucker. You make your L and it's coming out at an angle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to snip it right here. And I'm going to show you in another video what to do with these. Alright, so we'll just continue on our pruning here. You definitely don't want any leaves touching the soil. That's why we always water through the ground and not the air. And that one looks pretty good. So go ahead and zip it up to the panel. So now this here is a bush tomato. So it is a determinate style, and therefore I'm just going to go through and knock off any flowers. Take these bottoms off. I am going to nab a couple suckers just to start a new plant. And then that's all I'm going to do to that. Go ahead and I will nab it up to the fence line. Just like that. So as you can see, everyone is looking healthier, taller, and ready for that next step in growth. So this is what I do to start my tomatoes off right. Until next we meet, be well.